Town, in fact, it's twice as far from the northern end of her district to the southern end as it is from her southern end to downtown. But has been a consistent supporter, voter for the bonds for downtown, for the universities downtown, and particularly for the heart of the city, which we've now converted back. Let me just a couple of quick highlight parts. The investment in downtown, since my colleagues and I have focused in 2006, has been over $4 billion of new dollars since 2006, and still increasing with the groundbreaking of Phase 2 of the medical education, with one new hotel under construction, the only new hotel in the country being built, the Western Suites, and a second hotel financed and will break ground second quarter next year. You said third, but we're going to make it second. So I'll let Mike do that. 2 hotels in this country, no other city is doing. We're going to increase our retail space as soon as I quit talking by 50%. 300,000 square feet is leased up in this center. The buzz throughout the country, the buzz throughout the city, because we have scattered throughout the whole central core 600,000. This will be 300,000 new, unique, vibrant, great retail, which means, by the way, sales tax to the city, sales tax to the state. There's Don Carden, the Commerce Director, for the state, for the schools, and not to mention a lot of great private jobs. I want you also to know the average for Class A office space is about 28% throughout the city. The city of downtown Phoenix high-rise may seem like a lot, but you got to realize about 5-6% is basically always vacant no matter where. We're down to 16%, and if things go right in a month, we'll have an announcement. We'll be out of AAA downtown space, and the tower here is over 85% leased, and maybe soon 100%. So we're actually out of Class A contiguous space. Sales tax throughout the state, throughout the city, went down from last year to this. Guess what area of the entire state went up 10%, again increased from the year before to this year? Downtown. Thank you. Downtown. Okay. And of course, let's not forget the biomedical campus that's expanding, creating jobs, and everything else. Well, let me just really just say, the milestone is today. There is ice cream in there for both the little guy and me as soon as we go. I do first and foremost really want to thank Red, Mike, and all the partners. 5 years ago, just imagine 5 years ago, the sidewalks literally didn't even have to roll up after dark, to use that phrase, Monday through Friday at 5. There wasn't anyone on to even kick off. Downtown closed once the office community left. And in a short 5 years, we are where we are today, despite the economy, a vibrant, growing downtown. But we had 3 private investors that invested $900 million of their money on the vision. Mike, Scott, and the partners here. Please, they're out of town building, bringing back another thing. Okay. You know, where we were the last time, this is Councilman Mike Johnson, who loves district. Hey. You'll hear from him in a second. The last time in downtown when we had a pharmacy was over 30 years ago. Okay? Margaret T. Hance Park wasn't even named Margaret T. Hance Park. And we had a center square that had people in it, not that kept people out. And we had places where people could come and relax and have fun. And then, just like a lot of downtowns throughout the country, it deteriorated. But we all knew something as a community, whether, again, from the farthest reaches of our city to the most central and southern reaches of our city, downtown had to be healthy for any city to be healthy. And Phoenix is the first major city that has brought back its downtown from a downtown that deteriorated. Not a New York City, not a Chicago that always maintained it, but a city that was one of the smallest cities in the U.S. In a short, now 10 years, is the 5th largest city and brought back its downtown. And that's because everybody believed and everybody loves it. And everybody knows what it takes to make it. Cityscape really has become the icon, the essence of that revitalization. And this isn't just a drugstore, this is a community, expanded in every capacity. When you look at a suburb CVS in the best parts of any of our cities or towns, wait till you go inside and you'll see everything you need. And I also want to thank CVS for taking the risk and the investment, because a failure is not anything that anyone can afford, and a new expansion in this economy into an area that hasn't had a drugstore is a risk. But there's never been any question on CVS, and they've been moving forward. So they've been a great partner. And by the way, that's my drugstore. That's where I get my aspirin filled, because I get a lot of headaches. You'll get that later. Let me close by saying this is also what I started with. This is about economic development. It's not only about the vibrancy of the city, but that vibrancy creates economic development throughout the city, the state. This is the first area where people see, where the news sees. Even with our challenges today, with immigration issues, with the economy, downtown is a symbol of vibrancy and growth. We are all going together. We are healing through all the challenges. We're going to come out of the economic doldrums, and we see light coming, and that's not just optimistic hope, that's reality. Still too many people out of jobs, but we're moving forward as a community. The immigration issues are going to get solved, and we're going to come back together. We've had problems throughout the U.S. in the past, and we'll get through that. It's time now to unite, move forward, and thank our partners that are still investing and making a profit, because they know this is the best city, the best state to live, grow, and play. And with that, I want to turn it over to the CEO